What if you could see your entire construction site? I mean, everything. Every worker, every piece of equipment, every single angle, all at once? Well, that's not science fiction anymore. Today, we're talking about unmanned aerial systems, you probably know them as drones, and how they're giving companies like Alpha Constructions a totally new perspective that's changing the game, from the first survey right up to the final handover. So, here's our flight plan for this explainer. First, we'll get into the why. How this new view really solves some old, persistent problems. Then we'll nail down the what, defining what a UAS actually is. From there, we'll look at how these drones fit into the entire project lifecycle. And finally, we'll map out the journey from just trying it out to fully adopting it. All right, let's start with getting that new perspective. Because before we dive into the solution, it's absolutely crucial to understand the challenges that drones were basically born to solve. We've all been there, right? A construction site is just a whirlwind. It's a complex dance of materials, teams, and heavy machinery. When you're on the ground, trying to get the full picture is pretty much impossible. But what if you could just rise above all that chaos and see the entire operation in one single, clear view? That right there is the core promise of this technology. It's funny, a quote from way back by Marcel Proust just nails it. He said, "The real discovery isn't about finding new places, but about possessing other eyes." And for us in construction, that's exactly what drones are. It's not about finding new job sites. It's about seeing the ones we have right now with the kind of clarity we've just never had before. So we've pretty much established the why. Now let's get into the what. What exactly is a UAS? Okay, so while we all call them drones, the official term is Unmanned Aerial System, or UAS. And the concept is really simple. It's a flying vehicle with no pilot on board. It can either be flown by an operator on the ground, or what's happening more and more, it can fly a pre-programmed route all by itself. UAS is the term that really covers the whole technology package. See, a UAS isn't just the drone. Think of it as a system with three key parts. First, you've got the vehicle itself, the UAV. Then you've got the controller, which is that link between the pilot and the machine. But here's the most important part, the real magic, the sensors. This is where the value is. We're talking high-res cameras, LiDAR for creating incredible 3D maps, thermal sensors. The drone is really just the platform to get these powerful data-gathering tools up in the air. So how does all this tech actually apply to a real Alpha Constructions project? Well, the power here isn't in just one single task. It's about how its value stretches across the entire life cycle of a build, from start to finish. We can really break this down into three different phases where drones give us some unique advantages. Before we even break ground, during the build itself, and yeah, even after the main work is all wrapped up. Before a single shovel even hits the dirt, drones are an absolute game changer. Site surveying, a job that could take a crew weeks, can now be done in a matter of hours, generating these super accurate topographic maps. And that data, it feeds directly into our BIM models, creating a perfect digital twin of the site before we've even started the physical work. Now, once construction is underway, the uses just explode. We can fly the site every week or even every day to track progress against the schedule and catch any problems early. Drones can do quality control inspections on work that's way up high or hard to reach, and they seriously improve safety by letting us look at hazardous areas without ever putting a person in harm's way. It gives us a real-time, objective record of everything. And the drone's job isn't over when we hand over the keys. It's fantastic for final inspections and creating perfect as-built documents. But the real long-term value is in maintenance, easily checking out roofs and facades for any wear and tear. It helps protect the asset we built for years and years to come. Okay, so we've seen the potential, and it's huge. Now let's get practical. How do we at Alpha Constructions turn this powerful technology into a real-world, everyday business strategy? Let's just ask the question straight up. What does it really take to get a drone program off the ground? Because it's about more than just buying the drone. It's about building a solid plan for the rules, for safety, and for all that data. Here in the US, the FAA's Part 107 rules are what we follow for commercial drone use. Now, the rules might sound a little intimidating, but honestly, they're pretty straightforward. Your pilots need to get certified, which means passing a knowledge test. And the drone itself needs to be under 25 kilos and officially registered. It's a clear path to flying legally and safely. Of course, bringing in any new tech means you're going to face some challenges. We have to think about liability and insurance, set up strict safety rules for flying on active job sites. And this one's a big one, train our teams not just to fly the drones, but to actually analyze all the valuable data they're collecting. But these are all solvable problems if you have the right strategy.
And getting through those challenges is so worth it because the payoff is immense. Bringing UAS technology into our workflow makes our Alpha Constructions projects fundamentally more efficient, which saves time and money and makes them incredibly more transparent for every single person involved.
So let's end with this thought. Drones aren't some far-off future idea. They're a powerful tool that's here right now, giving us those other eyes to see our work in a whole new light. The question for our industry isn't if we should use this technology anymore, it's how. So the real question is, how will your next Alpha Constructions project take flight?